Hello guys, this is Boomerang here and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. I figured due to recent political and events, that sort of stuff, I wanted to see how much of a Trump supporter I actually am. Originally there was a video that I made about this, but there's a massive problem that my computer's been running where it's not like starting and stopping the recording, I mean. So I have to redo it, which kind of sucks, but yeah, so I already know what my results are, but yeah. Anyways, let's get started. So, where do you stand on abortion? I am actually completely neutral. Weirdly enough, it's not like I'm a centrist either. I'm just completely neutral. I don't care if it goes to the states. I don't care if it goes to um if it's federal. I mean, I might care a little bit if it's banned federally, but like I said, I straight up just don't have an opinion on abortion. Should the government subsidize farmers? Yeah, of course. How involved should the government be in protecting endangered species? It should be highly involved. How much government regulation of business is good for society? I feel like the government should regulate a lot more. If you can't tell, I'm centrist in most regards, although I am left leaning socioeconomically. So that's why I've been like going really far left on a lot of these. Should corporations and unions be permitted to fund advertisements for backing political super PACs? I'm against that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say this. How should government be involved in advancing ethnic equity equality among racial groups? I feel like the government already does a lot when it comes to this. Advancing equity and equality and that sort of stuff. I think generally speaking, most groups are pretty equal. I might do this. Should government increase or decrease military spending? I think decrease ever so slightly. I think we still need a strong military, although I think it should be decreased. Although I think we could get away with it decreasing it ever so slightly. Do you believe in human-made global warming? Um, so like I said, I already did this or this quiz. So I already knew that like this is what I selected last time. I actually made an entire video. I think I unlisted it now, but um just due to not getting a lot of views. But I actually made an entire video on global warming, which I'll probably link in the description if you want to see it. Although yeah, it basically comes down to that. Should federal spending on childcare be increased, decreased, or kept the same? I think it should be increased a lot. Now, I actually learned pretty recently that East Germany actually funded a lot when it came funded childcare a lot. Like they were trying to, advance women's rights to get women into the workforce, right? And part of what they tried to do was also make it so that there's like really good institutions when it came to childcare and that sort of stuff. And they ended up having both a high fertility rate and also a really high female employment rate. So I am definitely on board with that. Should the U.S. increase non-military foreign aid? I think kept the same. Should the military fly drones over foreign countries to gain intelligence? And yeah, of course. Um, I'll say yes, but only with permission from the country in question. Where do you stand on general gender pay equality? I think current laws are sufficient. Do you support more gun control? Um, about the gender pay gap, it's very messy, and we just don't know a lot about it because here's the thing. It isn't just the U.S. A problem with the U.S. It's like the entire West. Even places like in Scandinavia, where there's a lot of paid maternity leave, the gender pay gap still exists, and it's it's a problem with women with children. Some For some reason, women with children tend to get, or once a woman has children, she tends to get paid less than women without. I don't know. Do we know why? No, not really. It's just a trend we've seen. but it's pretty clear, especially because it's pretty equal between men and women when it comes to when it comes to women without children. I think it's 95 cents for $1 when it comes to not having children, which is pretty negligible. And a lot of that comes down to men choosing jobs with higher pays than women, and also women get a lot more women getting college degrees, although getting like useless ones per se, like English degrees or art degrees, and end up having to like go resort to a minimum wage job or something like that. Yeah. Do you support more gun control? Um, yeah, like I said, I've already taken this, so I kind of know like I kind of know which ones say what. Although yes, require more stringent background checks, training, and add more psychological testing. That's kind of how I stand. Um, I don't care too much about gun control, I think. Do you support Obamacare? Yeah, I do. I guess I don't know a lot about Obamacare, although I strongly support any like federal plan to like federal insurance plan. So I'll just say that. So your government increase federal spending on higher education. Now this is actually something that I have very strong feelings about. I think the US is overeducated by a massive long shot. I mean, what, 40% of people are in college degrees? Where's our workforce? We need more blue collar workers. We don't need more white collar workers. I think, and plus, like college is basically a cheat code now. You don't have to, you have to do barely anything for 4 years or whatever. You can still leech on your parents' money, and and after that, you get a job which pays a lot more, and you do a lot less. Like it's just a cheat code. I personally think that white collar jobs should pay a lot less than blue collar jobs because what do you do? Like sit on a computer, type stuff. Well, what does like I don't know a construction worker do? They have to like sweat all day, summer, winter, building entire structures. Of course, that should be paid more. You have to do a lot more effort. Anyways, that's my rant. Should illegal immigrants working in the U.S. be granted temporary amnesty? Hmm. What does it say? Um, how would illegal immigrants pay taxes though? It's one of these two. I'll just say this, although I won't rank it very high. Which of the following is closest to your view on guaranteeing rights for LGBT community? Now, as you can see here, this is 2024, so this is the Biden campaign. Um, this has changed a lot ever since Trump has came into power. If this was 2025, I'd probably be here. Although since 2024, I think it depends on where in the LGBTQ community it is. When it comes to like gay rights, I think no change. Well, I think Biden has been a bit too lenient when it comes to, or I think Biden has given trans people too many rights when he was in power. And what I mean is that, like, for example, he made trans women compete in women's sports. He made it so that minors can get uh surgeries and hormones and that sort of hormone blockers, or sorry, hormones and puberty blockers. The thing is that with the for former, I can go on an entire rant. Although men are just biologically a lot stronger than women, and I know in the comments, people are in comments be like, "Oh, sports are just for fun, they're not competitive." Yes, they are. Yes, they very are, and especially like high level sports, and like those people in high level sports, it's a complete unfair advantage. And when it comes to what do you call it? Giving like hormones that sort of stuff for minors. So I kind of can relate to this because I almost started identifying as non-binary back when I was in 11th grade. there was a massive pressure for me to do that from my school, and I almost did. Because I was like, oh, I'm not like one of those creepy, perverted, straight white men. No, I'm a non-binary person. And I don't know what I would have done, like whether it would get surgery or just, I don't know, not get hormones. I'm not exactly sure what I would have done. Although the only reason why I didn't do that was because of social issues. And I mean, I feel like that is something a lot of people need to consider before uh becoming trans, but that's a completely different um topic. But what I'm saying is that just that narrow reason made it so that I never was non-binary and I never went did these surgeries or whatever. If that didn't happen, I don't know what would have happened because I would have probably ended up committing suicide, to be honest, because I do not want I now identify as male and I don't want to identify as anything else. I'm a male and that's who I am. So if I was like had surgeries or whatever and because of that slight phase and then later I kind of completely U-turned on it, I would have been so fucked mentally. Like I said, I would have probably committed suicide. I can't even imagine how I would feel. Do you support stronger measures to increase our border security? Um, I'll probably say this. I don't know too much about the border, although I know that's like a really messy situation. I mean, I am kind of neutral on illegal immigration. I'm kind of ever so slightly against it, but I'm pretty neutral. I don't know a lot about it. That's the main reason why. Although what I am against is drug cartels because they're just using the free border to smuggle a lot of goods in the U.S. Or sorry, drugs in the U.S. And yeah, people are overdosing on fentanyl because of that. Should benefits for Social Security be increased or decreased? Probably a lot. What's your stance on surveillance? I don't really have an opinion. I might say this. Should spending be increased for veterans? Of course, they served the military. The military is such a hard job. You risk your life. And you have to be in top shape as well. And it's completely damaging to. And I can't even imagine being there. It must be so hard to be a military veteran. I know a lot of people, in military end up having PTSD and that sort of stuff because of how hard it is. Anyways, I scored it looks like 1.5 on the liberal side. It says that Biden is my best match. It looks like this was before Harris took over. Personally, I don't really like. I like Biden a lot more than Harris. See how I compare to others. Kennedy is a pretty close match as well. Trump, yeah, they're all pretty close to be honest. Oh yeah, it's good to see. I'm very close to the center, and really the reason why I'm ever so slightly to the left is because I kind of have a left-leaning stance when it comes to healthcare like when it comes to socioeconomic issues. Now I'm just gonna scroll and show you how I compare to Biden and Trump. I think just to show you, and yeah, I'm just not gonna say anything. You can just look per se. It's Biden and Here's Trump. I guess I can also do Robert F. Kennedy as well. That might be interesting. Yeah, this actually shocks me about Trump. I thought he'd be like way over here. Not gonna lie. All right, and here is Kennedy. Is Kennedy a libertarian? A lot of these look libertarian to me. Like for example, I know Kennedy's a nut job in himself. He's an anti-vaxxer, isn't he? So I don't support him, but that's very interesting how he's so against spying, I think. What else? Oh, he supports Obamacare though. That isn't very libertarian. This kind of seems a bit libertarian, just uh being so against, killing foreign terrorists. Um, oh yeah, decreased a lot. Yeah, he definitely seems libertarian. Interesting. Yeah, it says he's independent, although he seems libertarian. So yeah, that's this test. Anyways, let's move on to a different one then, shall we? Do you secretly support Donald Trump? All right. Let's see. Being leader of a free world is a serious job. What makes a good president? Um, it's one of these two. I feel like I'll say this. It's tax season and you don't want to declare bankruptcy a fifth time. Pick an accountant. Oh God, is this a race one? Oh my God. Okay, this is my inner racist brain is picking the black guy. There's a chill in the air. What is a great time to move and read? Which book is on your list? Um, it's time to do reading. That is no shit. That's the result which will make you a Trump supporter. This would be kind of funny since I'm dyslexic, although I like war, so the art of war. Immigrants are taking American jobs. What should the U.S.-Mexico border look like? Um, Great Wall with China. I'll probably say a wire wall. Due to the war on drugs and that sort of stuff. Which former president do you like better, Nixon or JFK? I like JFK better. How do you feel about climate change? It's freezing in New York. We need global warming. That's actually funny. Okay, so I've already said kind of how I feel about climate change, although none of these really encapsulate it. Um, I guess I'll do this. Like I said, none of them really matched. You had a family reunion. Your yeah, I can't speak. And your aunt starts complaining about Barack Obama. She said that Muslims shouldn't be president. What the fuck? What do you do? Yeah, pick a Donald. Oh God, what is this? You know what? I'm gonna do this just because he has Shrek in the background. You're getting ready to brawl at the Royal Rumble. Which song do you march out to? I have the Tiger set. Would be sick. Would he ever vote for us women? If she's attractive, I'd consider. Oh my fucking god! It's a simp trap. It, um, obviously this one. Pick a hairstyle. Oh no. No, what is this? I like this dog's hairstyle. What's the best way to create jobs? Just do it. Invest in public education, minimize government, and strengthen the private section. Dude, I don't believe in any of these. I'll just say just do it. Find out what's your pick. Yeah, I can't speak. Political affiliation. I'm unenrolled. How would you rate this quiz? It was pretty okay, I think. Oh, oops. I'm an open Trump supporter. No! No! Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, dislike if you dislike, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out!